Right, so let's get into what is in the starter pack that you've got, hopefully by subscribing to my mailing list. And if you haven't subscribed to my mailing list, you can do so below, and you can get this starter pack, which I'm going to take everybody through now. So here's what happens when we open Unreal Engine. If you've not used Unreal Engine before, you can. There's going to be some very basic starter lessons coming very soon. So stay tuned, and we'll get to those. This next few minutes just require some basic Unreal Engine knowledge as to how to navigate the thing, but I'll take everyone through it. So I've dropped a few cubes into this because there's a sample level sequence that I've done. So it's an empty level really. Let me take you through what this structure looks like. So I've put cinematics folder, which has a shots and takes folder. There's a Mixmo folder, which I'm going to take everyone through shortly. These folders are empty, but this is where I would tend to put my imported objects, and I would separate them up by folders. I would have a levels folder with a level for each folder, and a sublevels folder. We'll get to those we'll get to those properly in another lesson, but for now I'll just take everyone through it. And then we've got Mixmo, anims, and characters. So the first thing to note is I'll take everyone through this in a lesson as to how I work this, and basically all I've done here is I've pre-imported a selection of Mixmo characters. They're all related, and they're the ones that I use for visualization because they're kind of realistic looking. They're not like meta-human realistic, but they're realistic enough, and they're really kind of useful and light to just drop into scenes and start using them. But what I do is I have got them all sharing the same skeleton, which is the crucial difference. Inside each one of these, you'll find 3 folders: materials, tech, and textures. You don't need to worry about what's in any of those things. All you're worried about is this one, the static mesh for each character. And you'll see here that the skeleton, it says on there, uses Adam's skeleton, which is what you'd expect, right? Because he's Adam. So all these characters use Adam's skeleton. The crucial bit is because they're all sharing the same skeleton, it makes it super efficient. You only need each animation once, which is really nice, and it keeps everything light, lean, and efficient, which is what we want. Okay, so outside of Mixmo, we've got levels. So this is the example level, and you can open your levels tab, and you see that there are 2 sublevels. You can turn these on and off, and you'll see what happens. If you turn off the sky, and the lights go out, and turn off the geo, and the geo disappears. Again, there'll be a lesson that goes through all this. I'm just taking everyone through now what's in this pack. I've also put this shot structure in. Again, this will be a lesson, but for now, this is an example sequence, so you'd give it a number and a 3-digit letter. This is professional standard. This is what we do in film. Everything would have one of these. So 3-digit kind of identifier code related to the scene, and then a description of the scene, right? So for now, it's sequence for sequence. And then it would look at this, so you give it a 4-digit shot code, and then inside here then is a level sequence, and it's got the 4-digit code that we already saw, and a version number. Version number is very important. And if we open this, we can see here we've got our character who comes in, and we can watch this shot if we click on this button, which gives us our camera view, and we can play this shot through. And this is just one Mixmo clip, and I've just animated the camera. There he goes. And that's a single shot. But what you've got in here is everything laid out neatly and tidily. So cameras folder, characters folder, MISC, movers. There'll be a lesson on movers, super important. They go in there, and there'll be a lesson about how to set those up each time, but you can also kind of use this as a template. And then empty folders for props and vehicles, should you have any. The big thing that's in here that I think is cool as well, one of the big things is I've over here on Filmback, I've added, you see all these ones that have got an MXB label. These are Filmbacks for common cameras, so you can basically, if you drop a camera in, you can select this Filmback, and that's going to give you an accurate image based on the camera that you're going to shoot with, or that you did shoot with. So it's super important to have those, and it saves you kind of looking them up all the time. So they're just there. This is what I use. I've kind of tidied it up a little bit to give to you guys, but I have one of these anyway because it saves me setting it up each time. So it's just super useful. Again, if you don't have it, get it from the mailing list there. And yeah, any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer them. If I do any updates, I'll send an email out to the mailing list, say, look, I updated the starter pack. Here's what's changed and here's where to get it. So yeah, that's the starter kit. Anyone with any questions, let me know.